What if I told you that getting just 1% better every day could completely transform your life in a year? Sound too good to be true? Well, stick around because the math behind this is absolutely mind-blowing. Hey everyone, today we're diving deep into one of the most powerful books on habit formation ever written, Atomic Habits by James Clear. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your tiny daily choices matter way more than you think. Whether you want to get fit, build a business, learn a new skill, or just become a better version of yourself, this video will show you the exact system to make it happen. So let's break down the science of tiny habits that create remarkable results. Here's where things get interesting. If you improve by just 1% every single day for 1 year, you won't just be 365% better, you'll be 37 times better by the end of the year. That's the power of compound growth. But here's the scary part. It works in reverse too. If you get 1% worse each day, you'll decline nearly down to 0. Now, you might be thinking, 1% changes are so small they don't seem to matter. And that's exactly the problem most people face. We make a few small changes, don't see immediate results, and give up. We go to the gym for a week and wonder why we don't have abs yet. We save a little money and wonder why we're not rich. But the truth is, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Small changes appear to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold. Think about it like this. If you have an ice cube sitting on a table at 25 degrees and you start warming the room, at 26 degrees, nothing happens. At 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 degrees, still nothing. Then at 32 degrees, the ice begins to melt. 1 degree made all the difference, but it wasn't really that 1 degree. It was all the accumulated work that came before it. Your breakthrough moments are often the result of many previous actions building up the potential required to unleash a major change. This is called the plateau of latent potential, and understanding this will change everything about how you approach your goals. Now, before we go further, I need you to smash that like button if you're getting value from this video. It really helps the channel grow and allows me to create more content like this for you. All right, here's something that might surprise you. Goals are overrated. Wait, what? Let me explain. Goals are about the results you want to achieve. Systems are about the processes that lead to those results. Here's the problem with goals. Winners and losers have the same goals. Every athlete in the Olympics wants to win the gold medal. Every entrepreneur wants to build a $1 million business. So if successful and unsuccessful people share the same goals, goals can't be what makes the difference. What actually separates winners from losers is their systems. Think about it. If you completely ignored your goals and focused only on your system, would you still succeed? Yes. In fact, you'd probably do better. The purpose of setting goals is to win the game. The purpose of building systems is to keep playing the game. True long-term thinking is goalless thinking. It's about the endless process of refinement and continuous improvement. When you fall in love with the process rather than the product, you don't have to wait to be happy. You can be satisfied anytime your system is running. Plus, goals create an either-or conflict. Either you achieve your goal and are successful, or you fail. But with a systems-first mentality, you're committed to the process, and the process can be successful in many different forms. Now here's where it gets really practical, because I'm about to share the exact 4-step framework you can use starting today to build any habit you want or break any habit you don't want. This is the system that James Clear discovered after studying hundreds of habit formation studies. Stay with me because this is the game changer. Every single habit you have follows a simple neurological loop with 4 steps. First, there's the cue, something that triggers your brain to initiate a behavior. Second, there's the craving, the motivational force behind every habit. Without some level of motivation or desire, we have no reason to act. Third, there's the response. This is the actual habit you perform, which can be a thought or an action. And fourth, there's the reward, the end goal of every habit. The reward satisfies the craving and teaches your brain to remember this loop for the future. The cue triggers a craving, which motivates a response, which provides a reward, which satisfies the craving, and ultimately becomes associated with the cue. Together, these 4 steps form what we call the habit loop. And this loop runs continuously, every moment you're alive. From this understanding, James Clear developed the 4 laws of behavior change. Law 1. Make it obvious. Law 2. Make it attractive. Law 3. Make it easy. Law 4. Make it satisfying. And if you want to break a bad habit, just invert these laws. Make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, and make it unsatisfying. Let me break down each law with practical examples you can use right now. The first law is make it obvious. Most of our daily behaviors are automatic. We do them without thinking. The first step to changing your behavior is to notice what actually triggers it. Here's a powerful strategy called implementation intentions. Instead of saying, "I'm going to exercise more," you say, "I will exercise for 30 minutes at 6 a.m. in my bedroom." Studies show this simple formula, "I will behavior at time in location," makes you 2 to 3 times more likely to follow through. Then there's habit stacking. This is where you stack a new habit on top of an existing one using this formula. After current habit, I will new habit. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. After I sit down for dinner, I will say one thing I'm grateful for. You're using the momentum of one habit to trigger the next one. But here's the real secret. Your environment matters more than motivation. If you want to practice guitar more often, don't hide it in the closet, place it in the middle of your living room. If you want to eat healthier, put fruits and vegetables at eye level in your fridge. Make the cues of good habits obvious in your environment, and for bad habits, make them invisible. Want to stop watching too much TV? Unplug it after each use, and only plug it back in if you can say the name of the show you want to watch. Environment design is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. The second law is make it attractive. Here's a fascinating fact. Your brain's dopamine system doesn't just react to pleasure, it actually spikes highest during the anticipation of pleasure. This is why the anticipation of an experience can sometimes feel better than the experience itself. We need to make our habits attractive before we'll stick with them. One powerful strategy is temptation bundling, linking an action you want to do with an action you need to do. For example, only watch your favorite Netflix show while exercising on the treadmill. Only get a pedicure while processing overdue emails. Only listen to audiobooks while commuting or doing household chores. You're making the hard habit more attractive by combining it with something you already enjoy. Another strategy is to join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. If you want to read more, join a book club. If you want to get fit, join a gym where everyone is serious about fitness. We imitate the habits of 3 groups: the close, your friends and family; the many, the tribe; and the powerful, those with status and prestige. Surround yourself with people who have the habits you want to have. You'll rise together. Finally, reframe your mindset. Change your internal dialogue from "I have to" "I get to." You don't have to wake up early, you get to wake up early. You don't have to cook a healthy meal, you get to cook a healthy meal. Highlight the benefits of your habits and they become more attractive. The third law is make it easy. And this is where most people get stuck. We spend so much time planning and strategizing, what James Clear calls being in motion, that we never actually take action. Motion feels like progress without the risk of failure, but only action produces results. The most effective form of learning is practice, not planning, so focus on taking action, not being in motion. Here's a game-changing strategy called the 2-minute rule. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Want to read more books? Read 1 page. Want to run a marathon? Put on your running shoes. Want to eat healthier? Eat 1 piece of fruit. The idea is to make your habits so easy you can't say no. Master the art of showing up first. Establish the habit before you optimize it. You have to standardize before you can optimize. You can't improve a habit that doesn't exist. Another key principle: reduce friction. Every habit is just an obstacle to getting what you really want. You don't actually want the habit itself, you want the outcome the habit delivers. The greater the friction, the less likely the habit will occur. Want to draw more? Put your pencils and sketchbook on your desk where you'll see them. Want to exercise in the morning? Sleep in your workout clothes. And the inverse is also true. Increase friction for bad habits. Want to stop checking social media? Delete the apps from your phone. Want to stop eating junk food? Don't buy it in the first place. Environment design strikes again. The fourth law is, make it satisfying. We are more likely to repeat a behavior when the experience is satisfying. This is completely obvious, but here's the problem. With our good habits, the immediate outcome is often unfavorable, while the ultimate outcome is favorable. You go to the gym today, you're tired and sore. The benefits come months later. With bad habits, it's reversed. The immediate outcome is favorable, but the ultimate outcome is unfavorable. Eating junk food tastes good now, but leads to poor health later. So how do we make good habits satisfying in the moment? One strategy is immediate rewards. Give yourself an immediate pleasure after completing your habit. After I do a workout, I take a hot shower. After I practice a language for 20 minutes, I watch 1 episode of a show in that language. But make sure the reward reinforces your identity. Don't reward yourself for going to the gym by eating a tub of ice cream. Another powerful strategy is habit tracking. Get a calendar and mark an X every day you stick with your habit. Never break the chain. Habit tracking is obvious. You can see if you're making progress. It's attractive. You get a signal that you're moving forward. And it's satisfying. It feels good to watch your progress grow. But here's the most important rule about staying consistent. Never miss twice. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new habit. If you miss a day, get back on track immediately. The first mistake is never the one that ruins you. It's the spiral of repeated mistakes that follows. Now we're getting to the deepest level, and this is what separates people who make temporary changes from people who make lasting transformations. There are 3 layers of behavior change. The first layer is changing your outcomes. Losing weight, publishing a book, winning a championship. This is the results layer. The second layer is changing your process, implementing a new routine at the gym, developing a meditation practice. This is the habits and systems layer. The third and deepest layer is changing your identity, your beliefs, assumptions, and worldview. This is who you are. Most people focus on what they want to achieve, the outcome level. But the most effective way to change is to focus on who you wish to become, the identity level. The goal is not to read a book. The goal is to become a reader. The goal is not to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. The goal is not to learn an instrument. The goal is to become a musician. Your behaviors are reflections of your identity. You might start a habit because you're motivated, but the only reason you'll stick with it is if it becomes part of who you are. The more you repeat a behavior, the more you reinforce the identity associated with that behavior. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. No single action will transform your beliefs, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your new identity. So here's what we've covered today. Small habits don't add up, they compound. Getting 1% better every day leads to being 37 times better in a year. Forget about goals, focus on systems. Winners and losers have the same goals. What separates them is their system. Use the 4 laws of behavior change. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. And most importantly, focus on identity change. Every action is a vote for the type of person you want to become. Your current habits are not necessarily the best habits. They're just the ones you've repeated most often. With the right system, you can break free from the habits holding you back and build the habits that move you forward. Change might not happen fast, but it happens. Small habits make a remarkable difference over time. So my challenge to you is this: pick one tiny habit you want to build starting today. Use the 4 laws, stack it on an existing habit, make it so small you can't say no. And remember, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to be 1% better than yesterday. If this video helped you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content on self-improvement and productivity. Drop a comment below telling me what habit you're going to start building today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll dive even deeper into mastering your habits and your life. Remember, you become what you repeatedly do. So start small, stay consistent, and watch your life transform.